how to adjust the or to get rid of the green screen. Now you've done chroma keying before. This is just another way of doing it. Now, this is actually probably one of the more sophisticated chroma keying effects that you'll be able to use in After Effects. It's called keylight. Now keylight ships with After Effects, this particular version anyway. So it's just another effect. So you search for keylight, you drop it on. Let's just switch off the Vegas layer there. Now keylight takes a sample asking you what color you want to get rid of, so you just sample that color. Am I in the layer view? Whoops, I think I've applied it to the wrong layer. I applied it to my solid and not the... So I'll drag it down here onto track the hand. Now I'll try that again. Screen color. Okay, so it's even straight off the bat, I mean, it's pretty good, but you can go down then and adjust the let's see now, edge color correction, edge color suppression. Let's see now. Okay, so I'm just gonna use the shrink screen just to get it back down to get rid of those edges. Okay, so there's a hell of a lot more to it than that. Off the top of my head, I've actually forgotten what most of these things mean, but you can get some very sophisticated keys. But again, just remember when you're keying and chroma keying that the source footage is crucial in two ways. That the footage is at a high chroma subsampling ratio, so HD 422 for instance is great for keying. HDV, which is 420, is pretty good, but when you're using DV, which is 420, then you're dealing with very low color resolution. Even though your image looks like it has a lot of detail in it, you're actually looking at contrast of tone. If you remove that tone, you'll see a very blocky color image underneath, and that's what the chroma key effects look at. So you may be wondering, my image is great but my chroma keying looks crap. It's probably because you're using DV footage or something that's been compressed maybe into 420 color chroma subsampling ratio. The other thing is lighting. When you're chroma keying or doing any kind of green screen, is that you don't get spill, you don't get green light reflecting, and you make sure to use a good rim light to separate your figure from the screen. Anyway, that's an aside. I'll close up keylight now and quickly just show how you create some sparkle. So let's say again, it's when the hand goes up there over his t-shirt, that's where we want the sparkles to happen. So I'll just drop a marker there so I can just remember where on the timeline I want them to come in. I'll create a new solid and call it new sparkles and look for that CC particle system 2. Now there's no chroma key or rotoscoping or motion tracking or anything involved in this, but I will pull the producer down to the point where I want the particles to start from, and I'll go into the particle, change it from a line to a star, bring the birth rate down, change the gravity so that they don't get pulled down after they are created, change it to 0. Don't forget you can have negative gravity which will pull them up. The longevity is going to have to come down. I'll take the birth rate down a little bit more. Increase the resistance so they don't go as far. Change the color so that they're white to make them go to green. Now, next thing I need to do is I need to have them start, explode out of that position or that producer, and then go away essentially. So it's the birth rate that's going to be keyframed. So if I keyframe it here at 0, keyframe it here also at 0, so I'll need to open this up to get my timeline. drop a keyframe there, so 0 and 0, and then in between the two of those keyframes I'm going to have it set to 2, 0.2 rather. A keyframe gets created, so between the first keyframe, the second keyframe, the last keyframe, no particles exist, a few exist, and then none exist again. So they go off in their merry way, and what I could do here is maybe get a few more sparkles, adjust the radius X and Y. Okay, maybe not so many. And again, just play with the resistance and that kind of thing. Okay, so that's the idea. It's really just changing a few of the properties here and then keyframing the birth rate of the particles. Let's see if I want them to come or to stay a bit closer. I can take down the velocity. And the longevity. Or maybe pull the keyframes a little bit closer together so not so many are created. That's the general idea, so you can add that to your Vegas trails.